Louise O'Brien from MABS. We won't talk about American foreign policy, will we?
Oh, that's good. No, I don't know too much about that now, Damien.
We've been talking a lot about John Déise this morning. We're talking about waiting lists, and a lot of things that happen at the minute is that people can be in financial difficulty. We're going to be talking about that for the next few minutes. You work with MABS and the Abhaile service. Who, just to remind people, can avail of the Abhaile initiative?
Well, Abhaile is really open to anybody who's in mortgage arrears. Okay, so often people think, they're in arrears, they don't know where to turn. What's the point in going to ask for assistance? I know I can't afford it, there's nothing there for me. But the fact is that there is. There's plenty can change. If you speak with a dedicated mortgage advisor from MABS, a personal insolvency practitioner, they can arrange and negotiate with your creditors to have an interest rate reduction, maybe extend the term of your loan. It might be only a small thing that needs to be done in order to...
Because like we heard from Geraldine there a few minutes ago about postnatal depression and stuff like that, and there'll be certain times in couples' lives where everything just seems to come down on top of them.
That's it.
You could have a baby in the family, the mortgage, there could be others, there could be a car, there could be... And things can just get on top of you and you feel... no way out.
And that's exactly it. And I mean, a mortgage advisor is going to sit down with you and there'll be certain, as you say, times in your life that are going to be more expensive than others. You might be on your own the first couple of years, everything is great, baby comes along, a little bit more expensive. And then, the baby goes to primary school and maybe both parents might work, so we're good again. Then child decides to go to college and now we're back to having some financial burden again. So a money advisor and a personal insolvency practitioner will look at all those, they look ahead and they'll say, right, okay, well, we know that, these couple of years, they might be tough and we can set up a repayment proposal there. You should be able to afford your full mortgage then, and then they'll organise something for the later years as well. So it's a holistic approach. They look ahead.
Because some people may feel, go to a money lender and stupid stuff like that, and the interest rates and money lenders are still out there, and they're vultures. They're vultures.
They are, and I mean they're there waiting to pounce. And I suppose really what people need to remember. We often hear about insolvency arrangements and deals that the mortgage advisors are getting in place, and they're getting write-downs, they're getting interest rate reductions. These are happening, and they are open to anybody who is in mortgage arrears.
Because you differ from other sources and other people, that you're able to give independent advice, you're able to basically talk to the people and go through all the little minutiae of their income and expenditure.
Exactly, that's it. I mean, you're going through, you said there a while ago, when somebody falls into arrears, first of all, they're getting the letters through the door. That's the first thing, right? And one of the first letters they get is a standard financial statement. Now, that's a 12-page document, that somebody has to fill in that may not be used to filling in these forms. So straight away, even something just simple like that, a money advisor or a dedicated mortgage advisor in MABS can assist somebody, sit down with them, go through that form step by step. And, obviously to us, because we're doing it every day, that's we'd have that form completed in an hour or so. And sent off to your creditor correctly, because if they're not sent off correctly, they're sent back, and that causes more headaches.
Is there always something you can do for people, or is there sometimes that you just have to put your hands up in the air and say, I can't do something? But I presume you go and explore every option. So is there always a viable option under these insolvency schemes?
There actually is always an option. Now, it may not be an option that somebody wants to sacrifice. Sacrifices have to be made, right? So there is always an option. I mean, straight from a personal insolvency arrangement, but right up to bankruptcy, I suppose, would be the one that, but there is always an option. But as I say, it may not be the one. For instance, a personal insolvency arrangement might say, okay, you might lose the ownership of your home through mortgage to rent. So you remain in your house, for the rest of your days, hopefully, and with your family, but you don't have ownership of the house. You've lost ownership to the likes of one of the housing agencies. It could be Respond or iCare or Home for Life. So for some people, that's a fantastic deal, and then for other people, they might take a while to come around to the fact that they're no longer in ownership of the family home.
And do you get people in front of you that are in that emotional turmoil and that they're crying and they're so upset and they just don't know what to do?
Yes, on a daily basis as well. I mean, there is people, we have to deal with the whole emotional side. As I say, in MABS, we do take a holistic approach. We don't just look at the debt. So we look at the reasons for the debt. We look at also, you would deal with people in different ways. Some people, you know, you have to tread more carefully with, and other people, and maybe hold their hand a little bit more, filling in the forms. And then other people are well able, and you just give them some advice, and they might be able to go off and complete it.
So you're kind of
themselves.
A psychiatrist as well. You're trying to judge.
Sure, we're a bit of everything, you know. We don't.
You have to judge.
Best.
Yeah, no, you have to
judge
people and judge situations as they go, you know, and that's where the training comes in.
Exactly, yeah, because the amount of people that come into us, Damien, and you know, families may have separated, you know, couples may have separated or whatever, and I won't say all of it is down to financial, but financial pressure can be a huge cause in something like that, you know.
How do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so the best way to get in touch is if you go on to www.mabs.ie, and they will list the phone number for every MABS country in every MABS office in the country. But Waterford MABS 0761 072050.
Okay, and this person may get in touch with you. Can you ask, please, Louise, can anything be done about the warehoused portion of a split mortgage? Everything is okay now. We're managing our payments. But we're in our 60s and we still owe over 100,000. So the warehoused portions of a split mortgage. I
would advise, there certainly is something that can be done in relation to that. I would advise that person to get in touch with MABS and to avail of one of the PIP vouchers under the Abhaile scheme, and they may be able to get a right in. Now, obviously, it's a case-by-case basis, but if they certainly should avail of the advice of a personal insolvency practitioner.
Louise, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
That's great, Damien.
Very
thanks
much
a million.
Appreciate it. Louise O'Brien, personal insolvency practitioner with MABS, and you've heard how to contact MABS. And we are back with more of your texts and comments just after this.
Déise